I am the head of international student cooperation at OmniInStack, which is basically the project of Global Nuclear Education Hub, which is currently growing in the city of Obninsk. You noted correctly that I am a student of the Obninsk Institute for Nuclear Power Engineering, and I am also a Russian nuclear education ambassador, so it really all comes together.
And what are your studies there as a professional?
I am currently studying a Bachelor of Science in Nuclear Power Engineering and Thermal Physics.
Mm-hmm. And what are your social activities there?
Social activities. I am, as I said, I'm a Russian nuclear education ambassador, which is taking a lot of work, which is not directly related to only the university, but in general as person that promotes nuclear education all around the world, because it is very important. Other than that, I am a student curator for international students at the university, making sure that the students who first come to the university and who are international know what to do, know where to get help, and know what to participate in. And I also participate in the Rosatom volunteer program, so I basically am quite an engaged individual in the field of nuclear education.
Mm-hmm. How many international students does Obninsk have now, and where are they from?
Well, while I cannot give you the number right now, it's certainly hundreds. It's several hundred students, which are from basically all the continents of the world. We have people from Southeastern Asia, Africa, America, Europe. We have a very wide spread of students all around the place. And sorry, what was the second question?
And they're also studying power engineering or various amounts.
They study various things, from nuclear power engineering to general medicine to radiation safety. There are several things that can be studied there. And also, the OmniInStack project is going to develop the campus in major ways. It'll add, for example, research of hydrogen technologies or further various forms of elementary physics research, things like that. So there will be a lot more options for international students to study at.
In your opinion, in the future, how loyal will these international students be to the nuclear industry from having education in Obninsk in Russia?
Well, since OmniInStack is going to become the largest nuclear education hub in the world, I would believe that they will be quite loyal to it. I would like to see OmniInStack being basically the nexus where educators, researchers, and students come together to basically solve the puzzle. I very much would like to see the pieces come together to solve the puzzle of global nuclear education.
And help them build long-term careers.
Obviously.
In Russia and also in their home countries.
Certainly, because as we can see, and we will discuss this on a debate that will take place here right after this session we are currently having, some countries are venturing on the path of nuclear engineering in the times of current nuclear renaissance. And that means they need support from international education partners where they will get their own professionals, which will be able to basically start their educational journey in their own country, to train their own trainers and professionals and basically make sure their country becomes a developed nuclear country as well.
So in your opinion, what does a nuclear ambassador mean?
Nuclear ambassador. A nuclear ambassador means, in my view, a person who is ready to show that nuclear power is not something we should be afraid of. It is something we should respect. Nuclear technology needs to be respected, needs to be approached with care, and needs to be understood. But once we do that, it can be something amazing, something that gives us a lot of knowledge, a lot of interest, and something that makes sure that we can live here in a more sustainable future. So in general, I would say nuclear education ambassador is really a person who is not afraid to say the truth about nuclear power and nuclear science.
Can you imagine a future nuclear engineer, scientist, or a specialist who is not an ambassador of nuclear industry?
That is a very good question. I would say yes, it is possible that a person who studies nuclear science will not be an ambassador of nuclear science. However, I would believe that a person who is an ambassador to nuclear science and is a student and further practitioner of it will likely have greater impact on the community as a whole. So while it is not a necessary condition, it is certainly a beneficial one.
So in the end, is nuclear just a job, or is it a lifestyle and an ideological way of life, maybe?
Well, being a nuclear scientist and a nuclear person is definitely a way of life. It means you are talking about various things from a different perspective. Because since I have quite a lot of experience with, for example, work on a research nuclear reactor, I can often see things in a bit of a different perspective than other, for example, physics-related people can. I see things as a bit more statistical, let's say, because in my real life as well, a lot of things are yes, no, while in nuclear science, they are a statistical probability, because sometimes a particle will become a wave and disappear into a wall. And in real life, some of these events in real life are very similar to this, because sometimes we will just experience things we did not account for and situations that we never prepared for, and that is very reflective of the nuclear nature in the world. So these things are very transferable.
And also, do nuclear ambassadors have emotions and a human side?
In which way do you mean this question?
Can they also be simple, easy, and relate about life as an average person?
Certainly. That is basically the goal of nuclear ambassadors, especially the Russian nuclear ambassadors, because their objective is to show what studying nuclear power looks like and to give a formal education and informal side to show them, hey guys, nuclear education is not only very interesting, but it's also something that gives you some passion in your education in terms of physics and in terms of engineering, and it can be something that can be very relatable because there are many people who are sharing the interests that you, as a person wanting to study nuclear science, has. So, I would say that they really bring the connection of nuclear study and real life together.
That sounds like a very exciting career path in the modern world of today. A balance of science, humanism, and a life mission to help the climate, society.
Certainly. I would like to note really that when I became the head of International Student Cooperation at Obninsk, I gave myself a question for the future. Once this project is completed, the global hub of nuclear education created, what should it appear as in the mind of its first-time visitor? And the answer I came up with is that it should be an event horizon. Because when one crosses the event horizon, there is no going back. They will experience an irresistible pool of passion, friendship, education, cooperation, all these things. And eventually, they will, no matter what, reach a singularity, a singular bright future of nuclear power.
Last question. What would you say, just in a few words, to someone who has no idea about nuclear, but who wants to find a good career, a hard-working job? What words would you say to such person to invite him to look at nuclear?
Well, there is a precise thing I can suggest here. In the end of June, specifically since 26 June it is starting, there will be an Obninsk Nuclear Education Week, a youth science forum happening in the Obninsk city of First, basically, the city of First Nuclear Power Plant. It is an international forum every person in the world can attend, and it will show its participants what it is like to study nuclear science, what it is like to be a nuclear researcher, and what it is like to be a nuclear educator. It'll be the complex package, showing people what it is like to be a person involved in nuclear science. So I would believe this is a very good way to start anyone's nuclear journey.
Great. See you in Obninsk in June. We'll be there.
See you in Obninsk.